shit splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your dish splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX. J-Way. I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless. I'm gone. Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck. Give me to the trends. See you, Lee, be the band.
Welcome to Bleachers and Speakers. I'm your host, June. I got my boy B. Foster. And before we get into this victory that I'm about to talk about, I want to remind everybody to subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube. Also follow us at all podcast aggregators. Just type in Bleachers and Speakers, FFSN. Make sure you hit the notification bell and you're following us. So when we drop new content, you'll get an alert and we can keep you updated with the latest and the greatest from our point of view from the Bleachers. Foster.
Yo.
The Lions win 31-29. If we go back to the pregame, I said 31-27.
Right.
Oh yeah. It was scary early though, Faust.
Yeah.
It was scary early. It was up 10-0 fast. First two possessions, the Lions went 3 and out the first 3 possessions. And then after that, 4 straight possessions, touchdown. That offense was a fine-tuned machine at one point. And we just scored. Now, the unfortunate thing is Demo had probably his worst game as a Lion.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not talking statistically. I'm just talking like losing the fumble in that situation for a touchdown. But I knew when it happened, I said, "Oh, we got plenty of time. Actually, we had 2 possessions after that.
2 of them. Crazy.
So it was plenty of time. And hats off to Minnesota. They're the real deal. They're going to give a lot of teams problems. And I am glad we won today because ideally you want to at least split your conference games and win at home. We won away. And Foster, I couldn't help but notice there was a little bit of lack of pass rush when we needed it.
Absolutely.
He was missed. Aiden Hutchinson was missed today. But there was a couple of sacks. There still was a couple of sacks. Pascal, there was a sack to end the game. I think Martinez got credit for a sack.
Rodriguez
got credit for a sack. And there was a time where Darnold's just sitting in the pocket, and he's very accurate. He's very accurate with the deep passes. He's very accurate. That last possession where they had he overthrew Justin Jefferson. And let me look up Justin Jefferson's number because I want to look up.
I think we held him under 100.
Justin Jefferson had 7 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Naylor had 4 catches, 76 yards, and Jordan Addison had 3 catches, 66 yards. Like you mentioned, Naylor and Addison, they don't get a lot of catches.
And Addison had that 150-yard catch. You take away that 50-yard bomb, he did nothing.
Yeah, for sure. Aaron Jones was running the ball pretty good. They went away from it. But he was gashing the Lions pretty good. Jahmyr Gibbs had a game. Jahmyr Gibbs, he broke it. He broke the scoring drought with a 45-yard touchdown, and he wound up with 15 carries, 116 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown was back to being St. Brown. 8 catches, 112 yards, and a touchdown. Let's see. Nothing notable from wide receivers. Khalif Raymond had a touchdown pass, and it was It was good to see him contribute. This offense, when it's rolling, man, when it's rolling, it's going to be a problem for a lot of teams. And you can have droughts like that if you're going to score 4 possessions in a row, touchdowns. You can go 3 and out a couple of times. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't understand the second runoffs though.
Right, where the illegal procedure. Well, I think it's because an illegal procedure is a before the snap penalty as opposed to a during the play penalty. So
Okay.
it stops instantly. But you would think that, especially when you're trying to snap the ball because you're running out of time, you would think you would be penalized with runoff. So it's a janky rule. I can't.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking the game is over. Like 10-second runoff is over. It's a penalty. But they got
Yeah,
one more snap,
yeah.
and I was like, they would have to give up a Hail Mary to win.
But if there's a
We've
receiver
seen,
you want out there,
yeah,
it's
we've seen this monster before. I think Aaron Rodgers was the last to hit us with a Hail Mary and to
oh
win
my
the game or in the half something. But yeah, it was crazy. Jody Joe says good win. Definitely a good win. The Lions are 5-1. We're not going to do a full full show today because I'm too it's more football to watch. I'm hype. Uh Jody Joe says it was a lot of penalties on both ends. Yeah. uh, I thought it was a lot of penalties on the Lions early. Like early they were calling that the holding on the defense early. Carlton Davis got flagged early for that. And I'm thinking this is the type of day it's gonna be, right? Down 10-0. This is the type of day it's gonna be. Just not looking good for the Lions, but they held on. They the offense started going. The defense made some plays, some stops, and next thing you know, it's 21-10 half. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it turned around. Like once it got going, we were rolling. Like by halftime, we were in well control of that game.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's take a quick break because we're not gonna. Yeah, we I'm gonna enjoy this victory. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Dave, First and Skull. I'm a good sport, so I don't rub. I'm not gonna rub his face in the loss. I just know the Vikings are for real. They played again. I think they played against a quality team today with the Lions. I always thought the Lions was a better football team than they were, and they gave Detroit everything they can handle. So this is a good. It's not a fluke. This is a good football team. I think this division is tough. The Packers won today. They beat Houston 24-22. Um, this division is going to be tough, Foster. You're muted or something.
I might need it. Are you able to send me the StreamYard link?
I'll send you the StreamYard link.
Yeah, are you able to do that while you're in here?
I should be. Wait a second.
I may need
Keep
it.
talking though.
But yeah, no, yeah, the division is tough. I think are the Packers winning right now?
They won.
They won, yeah. So obviously everybody's gonna keep winning, but yeah, I mean, I knew going into the game that it was gonna be key to take care of the ball, which is why when Montgomery fumbled, it kind of like it brought home what it brought home what we kind of talked about is they like to take the ball away, but they but they are susceptible to the pass. I mean, we had everything. We pretty much had anything we wanted at points of that game. But what killed us was they get to the quarterback. Goff was sacked 4 times today. Yeah, Goff was sacked 4 times today. So they pretty much played out the way the numbers show. They get after the quarterback, they take the ball away. That's 2 things that they were able to do. But I don't know. The offense, the secondary continues to get stronger. Now they don't have the pass rush to lean on, but Arnold had 1 tackle today. That's usually bodes well for a guy that's covering some of the best receivers in the world, is that you're not getting a bunch of tackles. Brian Branch. I talked about the Branch and Joseph being 2 of the top 5 safeties in the entire league, and he got a huge interception, and he almost had a fumble recover for a touchdown as well.
That was inches away from being a turnover touchdown. His heel barely hit the out. It was split second. Like, it was almost tough to overturn it. That's how close it was. But they overturned
But it was clear. It was the right call.
It was the right call. It was the right call. It was the right call for sure.
But yeah, to say it. But not to give the safeties too much credit, because the corners do. Arnold was not. I don't think he was penalized at all today, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
Davis was, I think, but
Davis got a penalty early. He got a holding call early. And I missed I missed the Vikings' first drive. I look up and Aaron Jones is running to the end zone.
Yeah, they lost. Joku. Essentially, I mean, I think Levi Onwuzurike is, or who are the 2 edges? It's Onwuzurike and who? Pascal. So, Joku, he's a good pass rusher, but he definitely lost contain on that one that Aaron Jones got, and they were kind of susceptible. I mean, Darnold was able to step up, and he ran for about 40 yards total as well. But the run stop game was a little shaky, and that may be part of the adjustment of not having a Hutch, because Hutch is pretty stout on both ends of the as far as pass rush and stopping the run. So a little bit of an adjustment, but there, like you said, there was definitely points where we weren't getting much pass rush, but we still managed a couple coverage sacks, because I think Anzalone, Rodriguez, and then Pascal we still had 3 sacks despite all that.
I'm looking at 4.
Was it 4? Okay, so
Rodriguez, Jack Campbell, Nowoski at the end of the game, and Pascal. The one Campbell got, he was scrambling out of the pocket, and he did stop him before he got to the line of scrimmage. So
that's what it was. Yeah, he was trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, so it wasn't the biggest type sack. I mean, a lot of the sacks that we got weren't like clean wins off the line. It was more so like kind of cleaning up when Darnold scrambled. But I think that we're going to need some form of game breaker, a guy that can just win some at the line and disrupt the quarterback, because I don't know, the edge rusher outside of quarterback, edge rushers are becoming one of the more important guys, and it's because they are so pivotal to what the quarterback can do.
MSU Detroit fan says need to get that edge position figured out. I will say Hutchinson was missed today.
Are you able to send
it to you?
Okay. I see it. Okay.
Sam Darnold had an eternity to pass at times. And one thing I know about him, one thing I learned about him today is the deep passes, very, very accurate. He can be accurate overall, but he's a good, he can get the ball to his receivers. That first touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson, perfect. Robinson had good coverage. Foster, if you go into StreamYard from your phone, you can enter it that way as well.
I think it's I need to download the app though to do it.
No, there's no StreamYard app. Go to StreamYard.com and like you're entering the room because you're an administrator. If it asks for a code, I'll give you the code, but you should be able to go right in by putting my email address in there. And then just go ahead, and it should let you in, into the room. If not, I'll have a code for you.
Oh shit.
Yeah. While Foster's getting situated, he has his computer's about to die on him, but he's about to switch and get to his phone. Let's see. I'm gonna read this comment. MSU Detroit fan says, "Did Isaiah Thomas even take a snap? He was the only addition made in the week. I'm not asking for a Hutch replacement, but get some help." Absolutely. I don't think you can get a replacement for Hutch unless you go out and get somebody like Crosby or a Miles Garrett. And I think that's pretty far-fetched to get. Definitely need some help. I understand that, and I agree with you to the fullest, Detroit fan. I do.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, cool.
If you turn your phone sideways, it'll be a full view. Turn your volume down. Don't worry about it then. Leave it at that. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it.
Okay, but yeah, yeah.
What is this here? Please has it on. Okay. StreamYard is tripping today. I don't think Isaiah Thomas did you see Isaiah Thomas out there at all?
I don't think he was. I mean, maybe he was activated, but I know I saw Houston and Ukwu the most.
Yeah, I didn't see Isaiah Thomas take a snap at all. I could be wrong. Let me look at the. No, he's not in. He's not in the stat sheet. If he got a snap, he didn't do anything, and I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, I don't even know what number he is, to be honest.
Yeah, he's not in the stat sheet at all for a tackle. What we didn't probably going to overlook is Alex Anazzoni had 8 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. He played pretty good. He's a very good linebacker in coverage.
Nowitzki's pretty good too.
Yeah. I was going to say Kirby Joseph was quiet today, but he had 7 tackles.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he had any.
He didn't have any pass breakups or any interceptions.
I think they threw one. Did they throw one over him, or there was one that I saw that he was involved in, but I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah. Terry Arnold only had 2 tackles, which is good.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Which is good. If he has a bunch of tackles, that means the receiver in front of him is making a lot of plays.
And this is one of the bigger tests. This is one of the bigger tests that he's going to face all year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because he spent time on Jefferson.
Yeah. I mean, and he was lined up against Jefferson. Like Jefferson wasn't in motion or anything. He was just played straight up. MSU Detroit fan says, "I would love to get Max Crosby or Miles Garrett, but more logical would be Trey Hendrickson or Zadarius Smith." In the pregame show, MSU Detroit fan, we definitely talked about Zadarius Smith being more of a realistic person to get. You know, he's had some cryptic tweets. He said some things like you would think it's a done deal by some of the things he said. Trey Hendrickson, yeah. I mean, at this point, as you mentioned, MSU Detroit fan, we just need some help. So anybody, I don't want to say anybody, but those 4 names would definitely do that. I think if you get Max Crosby or Miles Garrett, I think you find somebody, you get somebody of that caliber, they replace him, as so to speak. But if you get somebody like Trey Hendrickson or Zadarius Smith, you have a viable option without having Aiden Hutchinson. So yeah.
And here's the key. We got depth guys that can contribute, but you need that presence of somebody that can command a double team.
Yeah.
When you have a guy that can command a double team, it opens up more opportunities for your McNeils, your readers, your other guys to work, to be able to work out individually, and it's going to open things up for your linebacking core as well. So that's where you need a guy on the caliber of a Hendrickson, a Smith, Crosby, because those guys are going to command double teams basically every time they're on the field.
Yeah. I just got thrown off by reading the inbox. But yeah, I do think the Lions need some help from the rushing standpoint. MSU Detroit fan says, I saw someone mention possibly getting Trayvon Walker. I saw that as well.
Yeah.
I saw that as well. One thing that's going to happen, you're going to hear a bunch of stories. And me personally, I've said this, I think the Lions are going to stand pat unless it's a disaster going on the next couple of weeks. I think they're going to stand pat. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a move. Now, with that move, more realistically for me, would be somebody like a Zadarius Smith. More than anything. I don't think Crosby's coming here, and I don't think Garrett is coming here. Just being realistic.
That'd be crazy. That would be so
That's
crazy.
Too good to be true. Like, I hate to be pessimistic, but I just don't think so. I hope so. It would be nice. Just don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to take another quick break, Foster, to get that out the way, because I don't know how long the show is going to last. But if you're watching, give us 10 seconds. If you're listening, got some ads we're going to play. We got a final Detroit Lions win at the Minnesota Vikings, 31-29. Foster, I'm wondering if the Slack app will be popping this afternoon. It was popping early. It was popping early in the game. It was popping.
You notice I didn't say anything the whole game.
I said nothing. I never will during a game. No. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah. And you convinced me. Nah, never.
Because if you look what happened, right?
Right.
Minnesota goes up 10-0, right? And it looks like they recovered a fumble in their own territory.
That was huge.
Now, they could possibly go up 13-0 or 17-0. It would have got dark real quick if they go up 17-0.
And momentum.
Yeah. MSU Detroit fan said, I'm hoping the plan was to go through this game and see what life is like without Hutch. And now we have the results. So I'm hoping Brad will finally make a move now. I said this earlier. I said this earlier. I think they're going to wait and feel out and see what happens these next couple of games. The trade deadline is November 5th. One thing Foster mentioned earlier, or I think it was it was Coach. Coach mentioned it in a comment. If Detroit looks bad from a pass rush standpoint, the teams with the defensive ends that we need are going to get greedy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, okay, they really need this person. Like they're going to pay, out the wazoo. Let's up the price.
So we gained leverage because we didn't look bad, is what you're saying.
I think we look bad at times, but I think we played good enough to develop to work on different schemes to replace like a Hutch instead of having to, sell the farm to get because it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it didn't put us in a desperate situation, but I think the void is still evident. See, I'm on my phone, so I can't read anything.
Yeah, we'll talk later, man. We'll talk later. You know what that's about. You know what that's about.
I don't, but
That's
it's a Slack situation.
no.
Oh, okay. So something else.
Bar Wars.
Okay, I don't know.
You'll see when
I'll see it.
It's battle rap stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll see. I just think they're going to weigh their options. They play the Titans next week.
Yes.
Is that here?
I think that's in Tennessee. I don't know. I can't remember.
Hold on. I got you. I got you covered. I will find out where that game is. That's here because we played 2 games away.
Right. Because we were in Dallas. Yep. So
Yep.
So
that's here, and then
that will be a game to go to right there.
Yeah, I will be in Aruba that day.
See, I feel bad for you now.
Hey, my wife don't know, but I'm watching the game.
Right.
Yes, MSU Detroit fan says Tennessee at home. Yes, we'll be playing them here. Now, with that being said, I do expect the Lions to beat Tennessee at home here. Right?
I expect to beat them anywhere, but yeah.
Yeah, I do expect to win next week. I'm not going to have an ego about my Lions yet. But Foster, you can't talk crazy in the other app because you're ahead.
No, I never really. But
no, that's why I was stopping you.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I said, just wait. We
gonna talk on Wednesday though. We are
definitely going to talk on Wednesday, and I don't know whose turn it is to host.
I think
it's not ours.
Dave went last. I think it's Pay's.
It's Pay's because Pay wasn't there last. No. Was Pay there last week? Yeah.
Dave ran it. We was on Ecamm.
Yeah. So it's Pay's turn.
On the bye week,
Yeah. I want to see who Minnesota plays.
I thought we looked at the Rams. The Rams on Thursday, remember?
We play the Rams on Thursday night.
And
I want to see
in LA.
I got to look up the Bears now.
Commanders.
Ooh.
They flexed it to a Sunday night game, I believe.
Yeah, they play the Commanders
for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Remember?
Hey man, I've been telling you, man. Jaden Daniels is the real deal.
You did like Daniels.
I even said that on a show. I said, man, Caleb's good, but I just think the number 1 quarterback is Jaden Daniels.
You did say that because he was Williams was the consensus, but yeah.
I just thought he was a better quarterback. I watched him play. As far as reading the defense, and he just, I don't know, man. It's just, for me, he was just a better quarterback. Now, I still could be wrong.
I mean, you probably looked at him as more pro style, maybe.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. I looked at one thing that I thought that Jaden Daniels had over him was arm strength.
Okay.
And accuracy. Now, Caleb is accurate. I want to say that. Let me get that out the way. But what made Caleb great was he would be under duress, run in a circle, duck a defensive lineman that's reaching for him, throw on the run, a dart, right?
Yeah, he made the more spectacular plays.
And I said he wouldn't get away with a lot of that at this level. That's what made him look kind of Mahomes-esque, is because he made a lot of plays under duress. And I figured he wouldn't be able to do that in the NFL level. Just wouldn't be able to do it. Just don't. And we'll see. Well, it's still early. I think the teams that he played against that he did really well weren't good teams. I do think defensively, I don't think they've played good football in a couple games, but if you look at their victories, they have victories over the Tennessee Titans. They beat the Rams. They beat Carolina. They beat the Jaguars.
Trash.
They lost to the Colts.
Oh, they lost to the Colts. Okay.
Yeah, I had them winning versus the Colts, but they lost to the Colts. So, and they beat a depleted Rams team in Chicago. So, hey, I think the jury's still out. I think we still have a very, very tough division.
Yeah,
NFC North is a tough division, and the Lions are sitting at 5-1. We are the division leaders because of the head-to-head versus the other division leader, and we're sitting at 5-1, 1-0 for the conference. The Vikings are 1-1 in the conference, and this race is going to heat up. Now, Foster, I hate this. I don't want to seem like this was all we needed, but I'm saying, I've said this from the jump, against your division rivals, you have to do well outside your conference and split. You at least get one of them.
Yeah.
And win at home. Now, if you can sneak a game away, that's going to help your case. But you must defend the house. Now, you have another game, the Vikings, in week 18 here. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing what's going to happen before that, but you've already split.
Right.
You can go in there. Yeah. Now, Chicago, I think Chicago's going to be a tough game. I think Green Bay is going to be a tough game. But those are teams I'm not scared of. Just not scared of.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Look scary. Minnesota looked scary early today.
Chicago was scarier with Fields in my eyes.
Yeah, I think I even said this too. If you're going to draft Caleb, why get rid of Justin? Because I think Justin was better than Caleb at that point.
But you didn't even want to. That would have caused too much controversy. I'm not gonna lie.
No, you don't pass up that number one consensus pick for anything.
No. I'm just saying, as far as Fields breathing down his neck, like
no. I'm agreeing with you. I agree with that. You can't have both of them, and you have to draft Caleb in that situation.
Yep. or Daniels.
I said Daniels, but anyway, the jury's going to be out. For that. I've said it, but it's early. It's early. It's all but I can say early for that because that's a longer term type of deal. In 3-4 years, we'll be able to see who's the better quarterback, or having a sense of it if they're not playing, similar, type of ball, statistically. But you have a bigger sample size in about 3 or 4 years on who's the better quarterback, who is the better choice.
Yeah.
I just think Jaden Daniels is playing really good for the Redskins right now, and
with less weapons.
With less weapons, yeah, he's doing more with less for sure. You got plans after this? Foster?
I got work to do. I got a little bit of work to do. Yeah.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you get to that work, we're gonna end this show. We're
I
gonna
want to
talk.
wrap. I want to kind of wrap though. I mean, as far as the wrap, as far as kind of just put a bow on the game. As far
For
as
sure.
yeah. Do I have the floor?
Huh?
I was do I have the floor? Do the floor.
Hey, the floor is yours.
Okay. No, yeah. So yeah, overall, Jared Goff had another great game. I think he went, what did he go? He went like he completed his first 16 passes or something ridiculous
Yeah,
like
I'll
that.
give you the stats. Hold on. Keep talking.
But yeah. So yeah, I think he went, I know he went 22 for 25 for like 280 yards, but
2 touchdowns.
yeah, and 2 touchdowns. But yeah, so he had a great game. St. Brown went over 100 yards. We broke even in the turnover ratio, which we said was the key, was taking care of the ball and taking the ball away. We did have one fumble, but ultimately, like I said, I gotta make noise. But ultimately, like I said, we have too many weapons. Like Montgomery, I kind of forgot after that fumble that Montgomery did get hurt early in the game. So, tough to say whether or not that was an effect for him on that fumble. But even when Montgomery doesn't have a great game, Gibbs comes in, goes for 100 yards. He contributes on that last drive. I want to say he had that swing pass where he ran for like 20 plus yards. But
Had some tough carries too in that last drive.
yeah. Gibbs, I mean, you just don't have any room to breathe. I mean, you say, oh, you take a sigh of relief when Montgomery gets hurt, and then you have a more dangerous back that you got to contend with. So, like,
And not to forget, he had a 45-yard touchdown run in was it the first quarter or the second quarter?
right.
Whenever it was. So you're on alert.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And he's always, that's always a risk on any given play. So, yeah, we just had too many weapons at the end of the day. The secondary played great. Brian Branch was flying all over the field. I mean, the decision to move him to safety was, I think there's no disputing that at this point.
But you got 2 safeties, Foster. You need more than 2 safeties, as someone eloquently put it the other day.
Hey, I mean, but you know what? Our corners play great, and he's right. Having good safeties is not the end all be all, especially when you like to play aggressive. You like to blitz, because that when they run 4 receiver sets, your safety is, you saw Brian Branch playing in the slot. We saw that play where he kind of got his hand in there, and I think Addison dropped the ball, but he also is a natural nickelback. So that was a very regular, position for him to be in. So, but yeah, the secondary as a whole definitely stepped up. The defensive line I'll say they did enough. They definitely got gouged in the running game, and they definitely kind of gave Darnold a lot of time on a couple different plays. But ultimately they did good enough. We did get about 4 sacks. Yeah, you said 4 sacks, right?
4 sacks.
Yeah, 4 sacks in the game. 3 of which came from linebackers, which is an indication in itself. But Pascal was pretty good today. He's been showing me something. Yeah.
But the Minnesota offensive line has been pretty good, though.
Yeah. Darrisaw is a top tackle in the league. So
yeah.
You know who kind of had a rough game? Decker against Greener.
Decker had a tough game.
Yeah, that one play where Greener just kind of got his hand on his shoulder, and Goff was able to step into the pocket and make a good throw, but he ended up giving up a blindside sack that he fumbled and recovered the ball. And that blindside is dangerous, very dangerous. So
yeah, one thing I can say though, you don't see Sewell doing that though.
No, you
You don't
don't.
hear that. You don't hear Sewell had a bad game the other tackle. You don't hear that too often.
Yeah. And he did have one. I think Sewell did have one penalty, but
Yeah. He had a holding penalty.
and I think
Blackwell had a couple of holding penalties.
and then I think Awasaka kind of had a tough game, didn't he?
Yeah, but I think he had a holding call early, but as far as the protection, I'm not sure. We were without Zeitler. No Zeitler.
Right. Yeah, which is why he played. So yeah, he did. I mean, yeah, we knew it was gonna be tough protecting. It was gonna be tough protecting Goff just because the Vikings do get to the quarterback very well. They got Van Ginkel, they got Greener, they got quite a few guys. I mean, we could use one of them. I mean, geez, like let's not be so greedy here. Let us get one of those pass rushers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, definitely going into. Remember the last offseason, Foster? We said we needed the before the draft earlier this year.
Yeah.
We were saying we needed defensive end. We need to draft defensive end, and they did not the entire draft. They got 2 corners to start the draft, and we was like, okay, they must plan on standing pat on getting this offseason. They need to draft a rush in.
Yeah, I mean, and it was tough because I want to say outside of Darius Robinson, I think all the blue chip guys were gone by the time we got to Arnold. So it like Latu.
I don't think you're going to get a blue chip guy if you're a good team. I'm just saying, get you a pass rusher you can develop and have him, to play that opposite role of your dominant rush in. Get what I'm saying? Grooming. Might not have to throw him in the fire your rookie year. Maybe he's good your second or third year, but you can find a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's painfully imperative now that your best pass rusher gets hurt. I mean, because I think even with Davenport being hurt, we were okay with Hutch. Like.
Yeah.
But no Hutch, no Davenport. We are down to some. I saw a guy out there. I can't even tell you his name. I'm like, oh, O'Connor, I think his name was. I was like, who is that?
I never heard of him. I saw it. He was in his number was in the 90s, and I'm like, what in the world? Who is that?
They might have pulled him off Connor on the east side. I ain't gonna lie.
Wow.
I'm just saying, I've never heard of that guy.
Wow. Yeah, we have to do some research. Maybe we can do a player profile on him this week.
Show him some love, huh?
Hey, it's just the people might want to know who he is.
I do.
Yeah, so let's see. I got a comment here. Troy says, let's go, guys. What a great win by the team. Hey, Troy, where you been, bro? Yeah.
On the baseball show.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up.
He's heavy over there.
Yeah, it was a great win. Its implications early. I tried to downplay it a little bit, but after you win it, it's like
y'all know it feels good to win it now.
Yeah, it feels good. I think the Lions win again next week and go 6-1, and that's probably the best we've been. We didn't start off last year 6-1.
No, I don't even.
We started off 5-2.
I was gonna say it was pretty good. However, it was.
Yeah, it was 5-2, but we haven't been 6-1 in a while. I'm ready to check the Facebook groups and check all the posts.
Yeah, you ready to?
I'm ready to answer. It's some people.
I'm sure if you look back, look back a little bit, there was probably some people that were complaining like, "Oh, here we go."
I want to scroll back to about 3.5 hours ago when the Lions were down 10-0.
Oh,
yeah.
And I ain't got no shame. If I made which I wouldn't, but if I made a post like that, y'all won't see it. I mean, maybe you saw it in the moment. It'll be gone.
My thing, it was so early though, Foster. It was so early.
Yeah, you know our boys. Oh, Lions lost. I was like, it's the first quarter, my boy.
Yeah. If you're down 10 points in the first quarter of an NFL game, if you look at it like this, if you're down 10-0 and you score a quarter later and score another quarter, it's plenty of time. Like if you're down in the first quarter 10-0, you can score in the second quarter, then in the third quarter, and either be tied or up. It's plenty of time.
And I don't think people realize how well coached our teams are. Like when you have a strong coaching staff like that, like they're gonna weather the storm. They're not gonna allow the team to get too down on themselves. That's just not the nature of this team. It's like watching the Tigers, kind of. You know, granted, the Lions been better longer than the Tigers, but the Tigers were just never out of games, regardless. So, yeah, we have a top-notch coaching staff as a whole: offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach. Like, it's just a different ball game. We're not folding under, adversity, even on the road when it could have got dark. But
yeah,
can't say enough about the kicker though. Made a huge kick today. That was I'm pretty sure Dan Campbell gave him a game ball, and probably St. Brown as well. But yeah, Bates, when you really think about the fact that he was a Michigan Panther making probably $40,000 in the springtime, like that was a massive kick.
Yeah. And you know what? He's had problems with extra points. So it's like, that's not a gimme.
No.
We expect him to make it, but he's missed extra points. So, hey.
He hasn't missed any field goals, though.
No.
Like any actual field goal attempts.
No. And did you see what the announcers were saying, though, after the field goal?
No, I was
okay,
muted.
I'm going to tell you what they said, right? They said the kicker on the kickoff, they should squib kick it or kick it short. And I'm like, no. You don't want them to return you know what I'm saying? They return it and run it back for a touchdown. No, I'd rather them hike it from the 30. Or, you know what I'm saying?
I can see why, kind of, because starting at the 30, and then when you got a guy like Justin Jefferson who stretches the field so well, you really only need another 30 yards and you're in field goal range. So I understand.
They had no timeouts.
You said what?
They had no timeouts.
But they still got 2 plays off.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been able to kick a field goal.
A 30-yard play, that's going to take about 8 or 9 seconds.
For sure. Because there was only 15 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, that's going, and then you have to run to the line.
Right.
So they would have only had, no matter how you slice it, they would have.
But I think does the clock run once the ball hits the ground on the squib?
I don't know. Now
I think it's a more effective way to run clock, because once the ball hits the ground, I think the clock starts running.
If that's the case, I agree with what the announcer's saying.
Yeah, I mean, granted, they can still return it, but it's also kind of tough to return a squib. It's hard to return in general right now with the new setup, but squibs are usually not the easiest thing because you can't time them. That ball starts bouncing and skipping and doing all type of stuff. It doesn't time out as well as a ball that's flying that they're going to catch it and then take off. So I get it, but I'm glad it worked the way it worked in the end.
Yeah, it worked out. I know you were supposed to put a bow on it.
Oh no! Hold
on. Let me read this.
We got to talking, but yeah.
Troy says Campbell seems super confident in him. Yes. One thing I did notice as well, the announcer were also saying that the Lions were wasting a lot of time because they let it go into the 2-minute warning. And I'm thinking the exact opposite. I'm like, no, you want that time to run down. Because all you need is a field goal. And they were
if you're confident with the kicker, yes, then you want it to run out for sure.
And because I'm thinking, okay, it's like they're at the 35, 40-yard line at that time. And it's like, all you need is 30 yards. And you got 2 minutes. And you have 3 timeouts. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Let the time run. You want to take off as much clock as you can. Because you don't want to score too quick.
No, especially not with them.
No, not with those. They have big playmakers. And Sam Darnold has a big arm.
Mm-hmm.
So you gave him 2 plays, and that was enough.
Then that goofy penalty is like, what? They get another play because of a penalty? What?
Yeah, that was kind of spooky.
In my eyes, an illegal procedure. Is that what it was? A legal procedure? Or was it a false start?
It was a legal formation or a legal procedure.
Right. My thing is that an illegal formation means that you kind of cheated to get the ball snapped.
Yeah.
In theory,
absolutely.
So I feel like they need to revisit that and say that you should be penalized for lining up incorrectly because it caused you to get the snap off faster.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Real quick, subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube and follow us on all podcast aggregators. Bleachers and Speakers FFFN. Make sure you're following so when we drop media content, you'll be able to get an alert, download the episodes. Yeah, let's go ahead and end this thing, Foster. I want you to enjoy your Sunday evening. Great win. I'm going to have me a drink.
You deserve it.
I'm going to celebrate this victory. The Lions are 5-1. They win over Minnesota 31-29. And we did not hear from Dave on this show. We heard from him in the pregame, but not the postgame. Come on, let's clean this. Let's clean this sportsmanship up, Dave. Come on now. It's us. It's early. You're 5-1. Don't be mad. You got any last words, Foster?
Skol Vikings.
Wow.
Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nigga.
Oh, and Vikings, get your lick back.
Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't